Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and today I am bringing you guys another Cobra Kai What If. As you guys voted on the poll, what if Robby accepted Miguel's mercy, basically dominated the scene, so I'm here to bring that what if today. I apologize for not uploading. I was gonna go, daily again, but you know me, I have a terrible sleep schedule, so I've just been catching up on sleep. But, I actually took a nap like multiple times, like in between classes, and then I took a nap right after, so now I'm good, and I'm just going to be recording and making this video for y'all and scheduling it for tomorrow. So currently it is, I believe, Friday, and this is going up Saturday. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys do enjoy this what if, and yeah, let's get into it. New intro!
Hey, collecting rings like I'm Sonic. Bitches wanna party. Virus getting heavy, so I got 'em on a diet. Yeah, flex like I'm Hogan. Yobi's coming over. We respect.
Okay, so obviously where this what if is taking place is the season 2 finale, where Miguel just spared Robby. However, in the original timeline, Robby just kind of spurged out and let all the rage consume him, basically showing how his Cobra Kai side was truly coming out. And this was the first action where it would cause Robby to spiral down and even team up with Kreese and not even hang out with his father or even have any association with Daniel anymore. What if things were different and instead Robby had a moment to basically think about what he's going to do, just like how Miguel did, and he would remember the words of his sensei, just like how Miguel had that moment of remembering the words of Johnny Lawrence. This is what made Miguel stop trying to break Robby's arm in the first place. So in this timeline, we're going to be having that similar moment happen, but with Robby and remembering the words of Daniel and basically remembering the Miyagi-Do philosophy and how this really isn't what Daniel would have wanted, nor what Robby would want. Miguel spared him at this point, and this shows that Johnny's teachings definitely did get to Miguel, and Robby doesn't think it's necessary in this timeline to try and push Miguel off the railing. This isn't what Daniel would have wanted, and this isn't even what Sam would have wanted, and Robby most of all definitely does care about Sam. We even see when Robby's spiraling down, he's still trying to think of Sam and think she's not a bad person. Now, I think to express more of Robby's confliction rather than just him just outright just not trying to hit Miguel, because I think Robby has every right to do so, as he heard about Sam and Miguel kissing. As he's striking Miguel down basically one by one before the final kick, he would be remembering Daniel's words, and before he throws the final kick, which would ultimately kick Miguel off the railing, he stops himself, and essentially this event never happened and Miguel never becomes crippled, which means Carmen and Johnny are also good with each other, and when they are told by the school of what happened, Carmen isn't going to freak out, but rather would just be disappointed in Miguel. However, she is happy to hear that Miguel actually spared Robby, and Robby didn't, do anything that ultimately ends the relationship of Carmen and Johnny at the end of season 2 and throughout most of season 3 until he gets back with her in the middle of season 3. But in this timeline, that never happened, so Carmen and Johnny are actually going to stay together. And I guess the person who would be injured the most is probably Sam, as, she did have a fractured rib and did get stabbed, and, since Miguel never gets crippled, this is probably the next worst injury that happened in the school fight. Although Sam's PTSD is still formed, everything that made the season 2 ending so dark is practically non-existent. Carmen and Johnny are together, Miguel never gets crippled, which means Cobra Kai has no reason to not trust Johnny or betray him, which means even if Kreese tried to, Cobra Kai would not betray Johnny, as, Miguel and Robby seem to be fine even after the school fight, and really the only person that was kind of being crazy was Tori. None of this was really Johnny's fault. In fact, everything is kind of better because of Johnny story-wise, and because of this, Cobra Kai has no reason to join Kreese, which means even if Kreese did try, which I don't even think it's going to be possible, as he would even know that it's going to be hard to convince Cobra Kai to join him, even though Johnny didn't do anything wrong or messed up, which was the whole reason why they even considered joining Kreese in the first place. And even people like Hawk in Cobra Kai thought Tori was crazy for that decision, so, Tori doing this isn't really helping Kreese's case either. Tori just seems kind of crazy. However, Johnny's still willing to give her another chance, as, Johnny isn't going to fail his students. And also, since the majority of Cobra Kai is not going to be joining with Kreese and actually going to be sticking with Johnny, it wouldn't make sense for Tori to just solely join with Kreese, as she's going to be the only person who agrees with Kreese, and it's going to be proving Johnny's point even more that Kreese is just kind of crazy, because the only person who's agreeing with them is the person that the class thinks is crazy. And even that person that everyone thinks is crazy, Johnny is is willing to not give up on her. So everything is just against Kreese. I know a lot of people in my what ifs, you know, in the comment sections at least for these what ifs, when Kreese never returns, they'll just be like, well, Kreese will find a way. No, he won't find a way. It's literally impossible to bring Kreese back. So Kreese is not returning, which means Johnny keeps Cobra Kai, which means Eagle Fang never exists. This also means Johnny never ditches his sweet ride in season 2, which means he never gets the crappy minivan, and he keeps this car, and he never throws his phone, which means he does get the message from Allie. Now, I think Johnny here would be conflicting whether to answer it or not, but I think in the end he wouldn't answer and would just kind of ignore it, as, you know, his life is going in the right direction at this point, and he's already met someone. He could text Allie, but I don't think it would be in any way to try and, you know, get back with her or have any romantic intent. So maybe Allie and Johnny could reconnect, but at best they are going to be friends. Now you guys are probably wondering what's going to happen with Robby. Well, not to worry, as I do think because of what happened at the school and Robby being worried about Sam, I think Daniel would allow Robby to come back to Miyagi-Do and basically give him another chance. So by the end of season 2, Robby's actually going to be staying at Miyagi-Do with Daniel, and he'd probably apologize to Miguel at the hospital whenever, you know, they're about to leave. I think Robby would do this, as this is probably the best direction to move forward. And now we have, rather instead of a Cobra Kai Robby transforming, we have a more Miyagi-Do Robby transforming, rather than Robby being conflicted. And that final moment in season 2 was kind of the final decision to basically decide, is Robby going to be good or bad? But in this timeline, he's going to be good. So he believes the first best step to move forward would be to basically apologize to Miguel, and Robby and Miguel would find some mutual ground to basically, you know, stand each other and tolerate with each other. I think they would try and solve the whole situation and basically give context for both sides. You see, Robby and Miguel's rivalry, kind of similar to Johnny and Daniel's, is built up upon missing context and basically two perspectives that basically don't correlate with one another. So they're going to be finding some mutual ground, just like how Johnny and Daniel did in season 3, and basically resolve their issues. And I think a cool scene that should happen as this scene is happening is Daniel and Johnny meeting up at the elevator. Now, this scene is going to be completely different in terms of context-wise in comparison to its canon self. As the next generation is trying to move forward, we could have Daniel and Johnny basically apologizing to each other for what had happened earlier in the episode, you know, Daniel versus Johnny. And this way we have not only Daniel and Johnny deciding to try and move forward, but also the next generation, specifically the two students that not only Daniel had trained, but also Johnny. And so season 3 of Cobra Kai would probably just be Daniel and Johnny working together to kind of rebuild and pick up where they left off. Basically, all of the conflict that would have happened in season 3 is essentially non-existent, and the only conflict that we would really have is Tori and Sam, which in my opinion can be easily solved thanks to Johnny. Now, instead of having Kreese going to Tori's house, it can be Johnny, and he can basically beat up the landlord, and Tori can then rejoin Cobra Kai. Also, because Miguel is never crippled, we can have Miguel and Tori actually interact, and them trying to solve what they have along with Sam and Robby, which means the two relationships that were actually present in season 2 are rebuilt, rather than, you know, Robby being set up with Tori and Sam and Miguel getting together in season 3. Robby and Tori never are going to be set up, but rather Robby and Sam are going to be picking up the remaining pieces along with Tori and Miguel. And so because of this, Tori and Miguel are actually going to be staying together because Tori's not going to be nearly as crazy, which means Robby and Sam are going to be sticking together, which means basically everybody gets to be happy in this timeline. As for characters such as Hawk, we could have him basically being snapped back to the light thanks to Johnny and Miguel, just like in canon, but it would never be that much of, you know, a conflict, as Kreese is never around, which means, you know, Hawk is never going to brutally break Dimitri's arm or anything like that. Also, Daniel never learns the pressure point technique because he never has a reason to go to Okinawa, as, you know, the school fight never basically spirals down to, you know, affecting Daniel and Amanda's business. Because Miguel never breaks his arm because of Robby kicking him, the business never goes down, which means Daniel never has to travel to Okinawa, which means he never learns the pressure point technique, or we never even see Chosen in season 3. I guess the only other thing I think that could potentially be kind of new for season 3 is Miguel figuring out about Carmen and Johnny, which he would have to take some time to get used to, but in the end, he's glad that Carmen and Johnny are both happy. And not to mention, it kind of fits since Miguel sees Johnny as a father figure anyway. And that, my friends, is where we are going to be leaving this what if off for right now, as Cobra Kai season 4 would basically not exist, as Kreese would never, escalate anything in season 3, because he never even returns in season 3. Or even comes back, and he never returns by the end of season 2, which means Terry Silver's never called, and yeah, we have our timeline just basically everybody being cool with each other, and everybody basically rebuilding everything and getting back to their normal lives, with nobody having any conflict with one another, and everything essentially being solved in the Cobra Kai universe. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you want any other Cobra Kai video suggestions, specifically what ifs, analysis, really anything Cobra Kai or Karate Kid related, let me know down in the comment section, and I will be sure to read them, and hopefully I like the suggestions to the point to where I actually do those videos in the near future. With that being said, be sure to also subscribe if you are new to the channel, as that is greatly appreciated, and hit the bell icon, that way you are notified and updated when I upload. My Twitter and email will both be in the description, and I will see you guys later. My name is Tyler, and once again, thanks for watching, and peace out, everybody.